Welcome to game number 1 of Capoch versus Fitzy here. This is the second matchup of this N4C qualifier series here on February the 12th. And the players are competing today. Whoever wins this qualifier round this weekend, they will be invited to the N4C $100,000 tournament that's being hosted by Nilly. It is a LAN that's going to be held in Berlin. So high stakes here. And both of these players having advanced from the first series, they won their best of 3. This will be another best of 3. And we've got Capoch playing as the English on Dry Arabia versus Fitzy here's Holy Roman Empire, and we know he is a HRE main, and this is his best civilization. So starting out strong here in this series, we will be interested to see how this goes. Now, in the previous matchup, the player banned Fitzy's HRE, knowing it's his best, but in this game, Capoch and Fitzy here both banned Mongols, but honestly, Fitzy here doesn't play a whole lot of Mongols, so that ban really doesn't impact him a whole lot, and maybe Capoch just didn't do his homework in this matchup. And both players did end up banning Boulder Bay. So we'll see no Boulder Bay. We'll see no Mongols. And Fitzy here out here grabbing these sheep. We always tell you, he's got a sheep guide on YouTube. Go check it out. He's picking up the sheep. And I've got a sheep emote. You can throw it in chat there if you're live here on Twitch. And English starting off, we got 7 on food, 2 on gold. Nothing crazy there. For the HRE, we got 5 on food, 3 on gold, microing that prelate between the two. Of course, the prelate now moves faster as of this week's patch, 1.12. He kind of has a little pep in his step, and he also can cast that inspiration from further distances. Look at how far back he can stand there. So some nice changes to the Holy Roman Empire. Thank you to Zenak coming in with that follow. I do appreciate it, and thanks for throwing in something there in the chat. And we've got Capoch picking up some sheep behind. Fitzy here kind of doing the same thing. They're kind of got similar scouting patterns going on, but look at that. Capoch bringing in 6 sheep right there. Looks like Fitzy has 5 sheep of his own. How many scouts did he go with? He did go with 2. Where's the second one? Right there. Okay, so I think they're going to be pretty even on the sheep game this time. Last series, it did look like Fitzy had got more. Now, let's look at the resource distribution. So we've got the English here with their wood line nice and close, pretty secure. Where is the second wood line going to be? Out here, a little further away and forward. He does have a gold in the back, stone on the back, and berries on the side with a deer being very far forward. So kind of unfortunate food spawn as far as that goes. But to be honest, for the English, not a big deal. They transfer to farms typically because they have cheaper farms. You can see there, their farms only cost 37 wood. So not a huge deal. Here comes that Council Hall landmark to train those longbows. Let's go take a look at Fitzy here's resource distribution. We've got gold to the side. We've got a berries to the back, a hunt to the back, and his 2 wood lines are kind of snug in between each other. So I think Fitzy here probably has a nicer seed. I feel like I've seen this seed before if they're reusing them in each. No, this isn't a seeded game actually because the qualifiers, these aren't seeded. So, but anyways, for the Holy Roman Empire, I expect Fitzy here probably to be going for. Oh, holy cow! Hold on a second. Everything I was about to say, what my preconceived thoughts about the Holy Roman Empire has already out the window because he is aging up with the Minework Palace. Yes, you typically see the Aachen Chapel. So this indicates to me he is likely going to be playing this game in the Second Age, knowing there's going to be some probably heavy English pressure, probably of longbows, spears, and rams. So he's going to be ready for them. What unit composition will he go for? Will it be man-at-arms and horsemen, or will he go for some archers? We'll have to see here when he gets up the next stage. Now, the Minework, in case you haven't seen it, acts like a blacksmith. So it's basically a blacksmith with a discount. So not only is it a discount, but it saves you the wood. You don't have to actually build the blacksmith, right? So you get some cheaper techs if you want to get them, and you it's a nice buff to your army there early on in the Second Age. So very kind of unusual or / unique strategy, though I would say I have seen HRE players going for this from time to time, but definitely a bold opening in a tournament game where maybe you expect to see the Aachen Chapel. Okay, so by the way, if you did not know the ranks of these 2 players, Fitzy here is ranked 36 on ladder with Capoch being ranked 22. So this is about as close as you can really get in these qualifiers early rounds. And Capoch would actually be Fitzy here's highest ranked opponent for the next few series if he were to advance. So this is a big game for him. And the only main difference being Fitzy here has climbed most of his rank only playing the Holy Roman Empire. He's learned some other civilizations, but this has been his bread and butter for the most part. So this will probably be a game he needs to win since this is the strongest civilization. I'm not sure what Capoche would consider his main civs, but I feel like I've seen him play a lot more variety in general. Okay, getting a little bit of scouting off. Fitzy here, look at that, hiding his scout there in that stealth forest, so he could just see those longbows. He knows when they're coming. This is so huge for the pro level. Look at this, 2 scouts. He can see exactly when his opponent's leaving, what they're up to, and that's smart for him. Now look at this. I don't see a barracks yet down for Capoche. Now he's scouting his opponent, so he's certainly probably seen that mine work by now. Yeah, no barracks. Quite interesting. I was kind of wondering if he would go for like a second town center or something, but don't see any indication of stone right now. Okay, so Fitzy here going for the archers, and he is getting those range upgrades right out of the gate. Okay, so it'll be longbows versus archers, but the longbows have the mass right now. We got 6 longbows out here. Okay, that scout can see what's going on. He needs another 39 seconds to get that upgrade. Yeah, he does not have his yet either. He hasn't started it yet. If he can get it within striking distance, the archers are a little bit faster, and he has 2 archery range popping out at once. I think he's going to be able to outmass archers here, and he'll have his techs up a little faster, and he might be kind of okay. You know, honestly, Capoche did, I'm assuming, scout those 2 archery ranges. That makes sense why he has no barracks, because there's no reason to make spearmen if your opponent's only making archers. And this is an interesting game already. I'm enjoying this. Okay, so using that scout for that line of sight to kind of see where is his opponent's army. He doesn't want those longbows to kind of pop out of nowhere suddenly on his own archers. And he needs to keep control of his wood line. Continuing to train these archers right now. Okay, and longbows just kind of positioning. Both players kind of playing rather safe right now. They're kind of sitting back waiting for the other player to make the move. Looks like Capoche is working on his steeled arrow. Fitzy here has a steeled arrow since he got the Minework Palace on age up. So, in fact, this would be a great time for him to take an engagement if he could. But Capoche realizing that he's backing up, he probably saw that that upgrade is in. Taking out a scout there, nice. He can see his opponent's army exactly where they are, and now he can start to make his move comfortably as he can size up. He's got 10 archers versus 11 longbows. He probably won't actually take this fight yet, but he can start kind of to get in position to take an engagement soon. Okay, so that steeled arrow will come in. Okay, oh man, this could be a good pickup if he could grab a few of these here and then get back. Okay, there we go, splitting fire. There we go, taking down 1, 2. Okay, grab 2 longbows there. That was kind of a good engagement. Let's see if Fitzy here pulls back. He is already working on that iron undermesh, so he's probably going to wait. Ooh, here we go. Okay, so 2 longbows are down right now. We've got some archers taking some damage. Now, the longbows definitely have the numbers. He needs to get out of there. Heading on back. Is he training more archers? What was that? What was that? He's taking some damage, but none have gone down yet. None have gone down yet. Taking a little bit of damage, but pulling back. Okay, Capoche looking very strong as far as the numbers game goes right now. He has 17 longbows versus Fitzy here's 14. But as he kites back, he'll be picking up some reinforcements. Now he has 18 archers. He probably ideally wants to take a fight here when he has the numbers game. And he used that scout to tank a little bit. But look at that. Capoche doesn't miss a beat of micro and doing a great job. Already picking off archer after archer after archer. Let's look at the military graph there. Okay, neck and neck at the moment. But I think Capoche will probably come out ahead here. And it makes the retreat really awkward. Retreating against longbows is never a great feeling. Okay, so looks like Capoche has picked up an additional 2 units there. And now things get a little bit tricky. Both players have their blacksmith upgrade, so essentially that age up landmark has kind of lost its advantage now that he has his techs. Or maybe it's delivered him earlier, right? But he wasn't able to really do anything a whole lot extra with it, rather. Okay, needs to watch his wood line. Those longbows could really shut things down. But he has transitioned to horsemen. 2 stables. Those horsemen could make a big difference. I don't see any spearmen out on the field. And in come those horsemen. And I don't know if he's even... he must have realized it. But look at this. He's trying to target down the archers. probably knowing it's kind of useless to try to focus those horsemen at right now, but this is a great engagement of Fitzy here, picking up these longbows. While the longbows are, of course, dealing out some damage to those archers, does he have a barracks even down? No barracks. So these horsemen could really deal a lot of damage. Let's take a look at the military graph. And Fitzy here is closing that gap there. As you see those longbows retreating. Without spearmen, you're going to be in big trouble. And that's why I kind of said it was interesting that Capoche opened with only archers. He didn't go for any spearmen because this is a bit of the risky play. But doing good, all things considered. He's kiting back. He's picked off some archers. He's picked off one horseman. He'll likely get this last horseman down. But here comes another one. Let's keep. I have to watch the military graph because this has been such a tight kind of back and forth. But any barracks down yet? No barracks. He is building one, but it's still gonna be a while till that first spearman comes out. Any more horsemen coming? Okay, so Capoche still taking, doing a better job picking off military units for now. He is kind of positioned himself aggressively, but he needs to be careful because 2 more horsemen and some archers could really make a difference here. But wow, Capoche's micro has been on point. He hasn't missed a beat. Okay, let's go back to those current resources. Both players, let's see any other military upgrades coming in. Is he going to get maybe some melee techs? Yes, he is going to get that fitted leatherwork with giving that melee armor. Any spearmen out in the field? Here comes our first spearman, and he is going to build a tower forward so we can start getting that network of castles bonus for that additional attack speed. Okay, Fitz here can see that, but he's probably going to lose that scout. Does he escape? No, he does not. Down goes the scout, but he did get the intel that they're there. And out come the horsemen. 4 horsemen. And if he can just pick off this one spearman here, this will be quite a success. Okay, here we go. Big engagement. Down goes the first archer. There's a spearman, but he runs past there. Lets the archer focus on the spearman. Down goes the one spearman. 3 horsemen is going to be a little bit of a difficult challenge for these longbows. Capoche microing back. Such high skill level here. Okay, we've got, it looks like he tried to throw some palings down, but they missed. And right now he's taking out those longbows. 2 spearmen coming up, 3 spearmen. He needs to target those. Look at those Fitz here pulling back his horsemen, doing a great job. He was trying to focus. If he can get the archer numbers down, he'll be okay. But there we go. 1 spearman goes down. 2 spearmen go down. There's 2 more back there. And I think Capoche will be okay just because he's killed so many archers. Because Fitz here really had to pull forward to get those spearmen. And now he's not going to have enough to take out this mass. So there we go. Some excellent micro from Capoche. And despite having longbows up against some pretty scary looking horsemen, if you can keep the archer count down, he kept focusing on the archers, not shooting at the horsemen. Then that means he has his defense. Because now, look, we have several spearmen to defend. Still has a growing longbow mass. And now Fitzy here has lost much of his army. Okay, so we've got the horsemen. They're pulling back. Now, he does have 7 horsemen, but he's going to need the archers to take out the spearmen. Be careful. Don't just lose these archers on the front. Oh, boy. Down goes 1. Down goes 2. I mean, this is huge for him because all he has to do is get those archer numbers down. Oh, the palings caught 2 of them. Look at them. Oh, nice micro for Fitzy here, pulling back before the spearmen could get their little stab in. But continuing to micro the longbows onto the archers, and then going to let the spearmen deal with the horsemen. But the horsemen finally getting in to striking distance, and they are dealing out some damage. Great micro from Capoche here. Down go the spearmen, and now those horsemen are continuing to charge ahead. But he's going to have to probably pull back when the next spearmen hit. There they are, and he is going to pull back. Okay, and we continue to look at that military graph. It's been this kind of consistent trend of Capoche just being a little bit farther ahead in these trades. Ooh, gotta pull. Honestly, like losing these like 2 spear, like if you lose these archers, like these losing 1 or 2 here or there, that's making a big difference in these trades. Man, oh man. This has been a tough one so far. Honestly, I haven't seen Holy Roman Empire play a ton of archer stuff. It's typically usually like, I see Fitzy here almost always fast castle, but I'm sure he's practiced this against English. What's he going to change up this next engagement? Because this is looking increasingly good for the English, though it is rather even. Let's look at the villager count. 41 for Fitzy here, 41 for Capoche. They're even as far as that goes. Oh, some archers forward. Don't like to see that. This is what I mean. Look at that. There's 2 archers down there for free. That's the danger of these longbows. And as they get the creep of these outposts, that could really deal some damage. Now, since Fitzy here does have the horsemen, there is potential for some raids later on if Capoche gets greedy with his eco, but he's likely going to be farming. Okay, here comes a big charge. We got the horsemen on the front line. Where are the spears? They are back. but can he target them when they're in this mass? They're kind of tricky to select. His archer numbers going down, though. 1, 2. He has a few spearmen there in the front line. Oh, boy, gumming it up. And this could be a deciding battle for this game. Archers going to be going down. We still have a few more spearmen alive, though. And I'm sure reinforcing spearmen coming. Yes, there are. Uh-oh. Does Fitzy here have what it takes to come back from losing his whole army? There's so many longbows. 14 longbows out there in the field right now. Wow. So Capote just slowly growing up that longbow mass and then throwing his spears in the middle there for that engagement, so you can't really target him. That was a really ideal kind of situation for him. And now building that tower on the front line. This is looking like to be a bit of a grim situation for Fitz here. Let's look at that military graph. And now you can see the numbers have really changed. Capote has picked off more. Again, he's also healing up the remaining longbows with that setup camp ability. Outpost, that will give additional attack speed, and he is closing in on his only wood lines. And still just the same. We got 3 archer ranges here. Boy, and this is looking a little scary. He's being pushed off his wood line right now. What is he going to do? He has some archers. Maybe in a defensive scenario, maybe he can get lucky in this town center, but I don't think Capote will push into that town center until the time is just right. He is just going to sit on the outskirts, harass these wood lines, keep his opponent starved, and a successful siege campaign. Honestly, right now, I would almost like to see Fitz here consider going out and raiding. Like, imagine he rolled up 3 villagers here, a few villagers here. Like, maybe he could run around and distract the English, but it's going to be really hard to just take these straight fights like this, because the same thing's about to happen. Here comes the spearmen, and they're going to take out the horsemen. Archer numbers dwindling again, but one spearman there. Has he got all the spearmen? There's one. There's just always going to be one more spearman coming, right? There's just always going to be one more coming up to the battle. Both players spending all the resources. Fitzy here having a lot of gold in the bank, though. Did he pull off of gold? He did. I don't know why he has. I think he might have just over macroed on that gold. Perhaps he was getting it for all those techs and then stopped. He forgot to pull off from it. Okay, so we've got that outpost. Capote really doesn't want to leave that outpost because that gives him that additional attack speed if his opponent comes near. Oh, trying to tower up the northern wood line, but he is going to lose the villager. I think that's our first villager we've seen die this game. 47 villagers for Fitzy here versus the 84 of Capote. I might have been lying. Wait, did Capote go second TC? Did he sneak one in here? No. Man, Fitzy must have had to pull villagers at some point. That must be what happened. Or he lost some, and I just didn't see it. Okay, so we've got longbows pushing forward onto the archers, running away. You don't ever like to be kiting against the longbows. You're trying to use that prelate to heal up, and here comes a charge. But you can't heal if your units get one-shot by longbows. And this is the issue, the longbows. They can just kite, even though the horsemen deal okay damage against them. They're not doing it fast enough right now. Okay, picked off some good longbows there. Archers trying to take out the spears. It's just so tricky to click them when you're in these engagements. But look, he's able to do it. And this has probably been one of the better engagements so far. But he always has to fall back once those archer numbers get low because of those spearmen. Let's look at the military graph. You can see there about 11 unit difference. Oh, losing that last horseman kind of for free there. Okay, if he gets pushed off this food, Fitzy here's going to have bigger problems. Because he's got a few sheep there, but where's he getting wood right now? Oh, he has no wood income. This could be big trouble here. Big trouble. What's he going to do about the wood scenario? He is not. Oh, he's come out to the side. Okay, so he's getting wood all the way down here. Yeah, there's no way he's going to Castle Age. The villager difference is just different. Is big. Fitzy here on 50. But wait. Oh, maybe you know what? I must have looked at the military graph earlier because it's a 1 villager difference. I must have freaked out. I look different. Sorry, I'm not perfect. We make mistakes sometimes. Okay, in come these horsemen. Now, technically, HRE should have the better eco because their units have they have the buffs of the prelates, right? Man, Capote is just not missing a beat, and this is scary. When you see a longbow mass like this, like these numbers just keep growing. How are you going to get that surround and take that out? He has kept the spearman numbers rather low. Oh boy, oh boy. Here comes the archers. Okay, horsemen charging in on those longbows. This will be a big engagement, trying to target down the spearmen. Archers shooting at the spearmen. We got longbows shooting at archers. Horsemen running around, just trying to stay alive, trying to not take damage as he's trying to micro onto those spearmen, but the longbows have a higher range, of course, so his archers always have to move in. Doing a really good job. Look at that. He was able to target down all of those spearmen, and he still has a lot of horsemen still up. This was a great engagement so far for Fitzy here. Let's look at the military graph. This is probably the best one we've seen so far. He needs to take out these remaining spearmen, bring in some more archers to keep the horseman charge going. But look at this, closing the gap for the first time this game. Those horsemen really making some strides. And for the English, if you lose your mass, you're in big trouble here. And Fitzy here being so patient and backed into a corner, seems to be getting out and almost has completely evened up the military score. And with that, we can just assume it will be. Let's look back at the resource graph in the meantime. And look at that, the army finally wiped out, but I think Fitzy here made some great trades. Definitely picked up more units in his enemy. Man, and taking a fight outside of that network of castles, less than ideal for Capoche. Let's look at that final military tally, and you can see Fitzy here still down, but he's not out. He just made some big strides. If he could stop this tower from going up, this would be huge. In comes those archers. Let's see if he targets down that villager. That villager pulling back knows that trouble's on the way. Archers coming up. Okay, down goes that villager, so no tower for him. And the spearmen are running backwards as the horsemen continue to pull off those longbow numbers. And the issue is if he loses too many longbows, then he can't deal with the archers, and then the horsemen will just overwhelm him. Oh, we even have one scout in the back line. Just being annoying, getting some... I think that scout's been standing there that whole game. Now look at that. Oh man, Fitzy here went for the boar, so that really must have gave a huge boost to his eco. Look how much food he has in the bank right now. Capoche having a lot of gold and food. It looked like maybe Capoche was trying to macro to age up, building some towers, getting some safety. But you know, this could be a castle age game. This could keep going. We've got a horseman pushing into the base. This is a less than... You don't want to be fighting under the English base. Ideally, he's got a lot of buffs from this. But now we have villagers being chased down, archers and horsemen right behind them. But they might be able to just tank some damage, which honestly, the military numbers are such a big deal right now. Archers pulling back. Maybe going to pick off a few spearmen here on the kite, and Fitzy here finally retreats. Let's look at that military graph. And look at that, Fitzy here finally ahead in the military score the first time this game. 2 units. Wow, this has been insanely close. I hope this whole series is like this. We have 2 players ranked right by each other on ladder. I don't know if this is Capoche's main Civ 2, but this is Fitzy here's main. He's fighting the hardest he can. And he was pushed off this wood line. I thought he was going to be completely shut down, but he went out to the side wood, didn't get raided, took a fight off of the network of castles. I mean, it's just been huge. Honestly, this was probably the biggest tactical error for Capoche, is leaving that network of castles and getting caught out in open field. And kind of the advantage of the horseman play. He has a little bit more mobility than his enemy. Okay, there we go. Age 3 has been achieved for Capoche. He's in the castle age, and he did go up with that king's palace, so he'll be training some villagers that acts as a town center. Look at the current villager count, 59 for Fitzy here, 60 for Capoche, and going to be taking out that tower on the back line. Will Fitzy here be aging up? He has tons of food in the bank. Look, he realizes, oh shit, I got to age up, and he is throwing 14 villas onto gold. So he'll be getting age up very soon. I'm assuming the Regis Cathedral, but Capoche is already going to be getting a little bit of a military advantage. He also does have a market to do some trading. I don't know if Fitzy has built a market to trade. No, I don't think he's done any trading. He doesn't believe in trading. Okay, but out come these horsemen. Let's see if he can take out maybe some villagers here. Would be a nice little raid. Oh, this could be a nice one to the north if he can get that. Leaving that tower. Going to go see what's going on. See if he spots it. Oh, it's just out of his line of sight. Does he know it's there? He might see it. He might see if he runs north. And Capoche must be a little nervous. Wait, where's his army? Oh, he's going for a raid too. Oh, man. Oh, man. If he ran north, this will be 3 villas to pick off. Needs to be careful not to lose his reinforcements on the other side as he sees where Capoche's army is. We got Fitz here moving in on the base of Capoche, and he's going to be picking off villagers. There's not enough room in the inn. There we go. Going to be picking off a few villas in the base of Capoche as he starts his age up. But in comes Capoche. Let's see how many villagers he is able to pick off. Continuing to be chaos underneath Capoche's town center right now. At least with the English, if they go to farms early, you know where those villagers are going to be. So when you raid and raid and raid, you can just keep hitting those farms again. You know exactly where your target's going to be and hope your enemy doesn't notice. Okay, pulling villagers in good time. He was able to get them off. Let's see, where's his town? Oh, he's going with the Regis Cathedral up to the north. Wow, that is kind of a risky spot to build this because he'll want that gold later on, but he just figured that's the safest spot to put it. And let's look at the villager count. 61 for Fitzy here, 60 for Capoche. Rather close, but a lot of idle vills for Fitzy here as he pulled him back. Meanwhile, Fitzy here is grabbing some more raids up under this town center, but the longbow's dealing a lot of damage to his army. He needs to pull these archers back, but I think this was just a raid task force to buy him time until he aged up. We've got Capoche going around the back looking for where did those villagers go. Look at that villager count. 56 for Capoche, 63 for Fitzy here. So he got a considerable number of villagers, and not to mention, there's still 3 villagers up here that are would be easy pickings if he discovers them. So he's looking, is he aging up? Where's his landmark? I would be confused too. Like, where is he aging up? He has to be aging up. He pops the 3rd age, and look at this. This could be a good, if he could take out this spearman, look at all the horsemen. I think he could just jam his army in here either way. Okay, there we go. Big fight, and Capoche is going to lose a ton of longbows. Of course, these are all upgraded. We've got they're hardened spearmen. They are not veteran spearmen. Veteran longbows. So those archers targeting down the spears, and this will be a cleanup of those remaining longbows. It would have been nice if he had got his upgrades in time, but you know, it was just the opportunity was right. He had to surround, and down goes Capoche's army. Meanwhile, oh, this Fitzy here, notice there's longbows on the front line taking out villagers. We'll look at the villager count after this is over. This is, I don't know how long that was going on because I just noticed. I don't know if Fitzy here just noticed too. A horseman coming out. He does not have the spears to protect us, and he could be losing even more longbows. Picking up the relics in the meantime. Wolf's attacking that. Okay, here's another engagement, but he's going to fall back. He needs to get these upgrades in now that he's in the 3rd age. Let's look at the military graph. You can see units lost. Fitzy here has lost more. Current resources. Let's look at income per minute. I know some people like that. Of course, Capoche is up by just a little bit at the moment. 57 vills for Fitzy here, 63 for Capoche because he does have that 2nd town center. But these relics will come into play. He can grab these 2 more relics pretty safely. Maybe he'll discover it. Oh, he's going to see these villagers soon. So that'll be 3 he could grab. Are these horsemen upgraded? Not quite yet. He's trying to get veteran archers are in. I was trying to see if there's any man-arms in mix, but no, it's going to be still archers and horsemen. Okay, he's taken out a few of the spearmen. I wonder if he'll make any knights, or if he'll just continue the horseman train right now. This seems to be an okay battle right now for Fitzy here. Needs to watch his villagers and no big raids come in, and just buy time as he grabs that gold for the Regnitz. And he is out getting these relics at the moment. Where did his scholar go? I wonder if that wolf killed him. Could have been possible. Could have been possible. Okay, so man, what a back and forth game this has been. I still don't know who's going to win this game. It has been epic. This is honestly, I cast games every single day. You know, if you haven't already, I upload a game to YouTube every single day. Every single day. I've not missed one. And I watch a lot of high level games. This is one of the closest ones I think I've ever seen. Archers taking out the spearmen there in the back line, losing a few villagers on the gold. Ooh, but now, as I say, it's been a close game. Capoche has been really starting to deal some damage to Fitzy here's villagers. 70 for Capoche versus the 55 of Fitzy here. Though, if he can somehow get to the 4th age, which is a long ways away, you know he can print villagers and come right back into it with the Palace of Swabia. Okay, some knights are out on the field. I feel like Fitzy here has to do some raiding. Oh, what is going on here? Look at this. A little bit of an army, a little bit of a guerrilla task force ready to pounce. Okay, Capoche has his longbows out there. We've got spearmen and longbows kind of running around. Both players just kind of... this is crazy. He lost his... I don't know why he hasn't grabbed these. These are nice close relics. Is there some chance he didn't scout them? No, he's definitely scouted them. Okay, we got knights in the middle, but they're kind of caught, pincered between longbows, and those longbows can just DPS, and they can deal plenty of damage on those knights when you have this many longbows. So running around. Oh, this could be the raid that Fitz here really needs. He is on the villager line. Capoche, does he notice? Capoche does notice, though, pretty quickly and pulls these villagers back. We will take a look at the villager count once this is over. But there's not even going to be enough room to garrison all of them inside at the town center there. But now Fitz here needs to make sure the same thing doesn't happen to him. But those are spearmen, and these are archers. And Matt says archers win this fight. And if he loses all of his spearmen on the front line... There are knights out here right now, and those, oh my gosh, this could be huge. Villagers continuing to go down on the back line while we've got knights on the army. The bigger problem than villagers, honestly, is if he loses this army right now to these knights mass, he has no spearmen. This could be a turning point in the game. He has a mangonel. That mangonel can get a shot. Will it No, it's standing still, acting weird, as we know Mangonels do sometimes. Okay, but he is charging forward, trying to get a Mangonel in position, but it hasn't quite yet. Let's look at that military graph. Looks like Fitz here is ahead, but it's so close. Wow, what a turning point in this game it has been. He's still out here running around with his task force here on the back line. Still doesn't discover the villagers to the northwest. Let's look at the villager count now that this rating has stopped. 58 for Fitzy here, 74 for Capoche. So Capoche still quite ahead on the villager game, despite being a little bit rated, because he's just been 2 TC for so long. But one thing to consider, as this residence gets more relics in it, he can get a potential of 900 gold per minute. So that could really, that equates for villagers. Man, if this Mangonel can make a difference, honestly, I feel like the regardless of the eco difference, the fact that there's Mangonel missing that shot, the fact that he killed all those spearmen is going to be the biggest problem yet, because he can just keep making more archers and knights, and it's going to be hard to stop the knights from advancing. Look at this. Okay, be careful. Now, he has built up plenty more spearmen on the back line. Let's see if he's able to get a shot off. Boom, there's a Mangonel shot, but Capoche was able to dodge that very skillfully. Fitz here needs to be careful. He's going to overcommit. That is a big, massive English army. And now he's getting that network of castles bonus. I don't know if he wants to push out into this, but he feels like he's got the Mangonel. He's got the power. Big hit on those longbows, but the spearmen are the pressing concern, in my opinion. And needs to get back. Siege being a little bit slower now. And look at that. Spearman up on the siege. He's trying to target them down, but being caught up, I think he's going to lose this Mangonel. Yes, he does lose that Mangonel. And I think this has been a good trade for Capoche. What a back and forth. I kind of thought Fizzy here was maybe overextending. Now look at these villagers gathering peacefully together. But the plain thought is Capoche has the bigger economy. He has the villager advantage. But Fizzy here has been getting those relics. Look at the income per minute. Fizzy here is bringing in the gold. That's the biggest difference here. So he could really support plenty of siege behind this. And if he can get any type of massive Mangonel, that would be a good ticket to deal damage to his army. And look at this. A lot of his army is rather low on HP. So Fizzy here doing a good job using those relics to leverage his advantage as the Holy Roman Empire. Obviously, a big villager difference. 61 for Fizzy here versus the 87 of Capoche. And the relics just helping keeping him in this game. And Fizzy here is still alive. Let's see what's going on in the English base. We've got plenty of farms all over the place. Now, mind you, there could be some raids coming in here with some knights soon. Capoche is being pushed back into his territory, and he does not have the mobile army. Fizzy here having the knights will kind of be dictating this battle for a while. He just needs to be careful not to overplay his hand. Okay, so building some towers. I've noticed Fizzy here likes to do this. He builds towers everywhere because he just likes to have line of sight. Look here. He just builds these towers all over the map, and that line of sight's a little bit bugged. Okay, losing one knight. You can see how a large mass of longbows, they can still deal with knights, okay. Oh my gosh. So we've got 2 Mangonels. Let's see if they're able to get a shot, but will the spearmen charge forward? Here they come. Spearman charging up. That's about all he can do. Oh my gosh, he could use that relic, but the longbow could persuade the Whoa, going to protect for now, but he might lose that relic now. But the spearmen going down. Actually, there's some man-at-arms there in this composition. So Capoche has been mixing in some man-at-arms. Knights kind of is all over the place battle. Let's remove the UI so you can see everything. Man-at-arms trying to get up on these Mangonel, but he's losing all of his infantry, and now these longbows all in spread formation have to fall back. Capoche did a good job of spreading his army out to deal with the Mangonel. 3 Mangonels now in play, but I do feel like Fitz here is going to need some melee units to tank in case another wave of spearmen or man-at-arms charges Mangonels. Knights kind of surrounding these archers right now, the longbows rather, and Fitzy here looking to be in striking distance despite having lower villager counts. Look at this, picking up some villagers now, but we know that's not going to close the gap for some time unless he really makes some inroads on some villager grabs. Okay, it looks like those 3 villagers have finally evacuated that mill. Okay, here we go. Longbows all in spread formation, but where are his... Okay, here we go. This is what I was talking about. 18-man arms, but he has no melee units, and archers are not going to be enough to deal with a charging man arms. And Fitz here needs to pull back right now before it is too late. And these Mangonel are slower than they were before. I think he realizes he was not going to escape and tries to get a last shot off there with his Mangonels. Knights coming in to try to stop him, but those man-arms charging forward, and down go those Mangonel. That is a big moment for Fitzy here, and they get a surround on the archers. I think he's trying to get out of there. Okay, so archers focusing on the longbows, but a bit of a military blunder there. I called that a little early. I said, you know, some melee units charge up. This could be trouble for this. And Caboche has done a really nice job transitioning into the man-at-arms. And that's really the issue. Fitz here's been making all these archers, but they don't deal with man-at-arms very well. But now he has a few crossbows. But crossbows, they're going to be more susceptible to the veteran longbows. So Fitzy here obviously invested in those 3 siege units, and now they have all been destroyed. Using that prelate to deal out a little bit of healing here, but you can see this man-arms really changing the tide of this battle. Oh, now he did garrison a relic inside of the outpost. Now, fun fact, for the HRE, they can garrison relics inside of outposts, and look at all the bonuses it gets. More armor, more damage, more sight, more weapon range, and plus 100 gold per minute. But I think he's going to lose that outpost. But not before that, that ballista upgrade he's done deal some damage. Okay, we've got knights here on the back line, archers. Let's look at the infantry count. Man, that's a lot of man-arms. 16 back there for Capoche. Okay, Fitzy here trying to drop a keep at the front. This could really help his defense and push Capoche back a little bit, but going to lose maybe a few more villagers here before this is all said and done. But the knights doing a good job getting on that front line, and Capoche is just focused on dealing more economic damage to Fitzy here and trying to slow down that keep. But that keep will keep Fitzy alive for a little bit of time here. He's going to garrison in. Oh, we see those. Finally, Holy Roman Empire has put in those men-at-arms. That's one of their best units. We haven't seen them for a while here, but he's finally got some on the field. But Capoche really charging in. Look at the villager count. 57 for Fitzy here, 107 for Capoche. So despite looking like he was making some military gains, Capoche has the economic game down. And I'm not sure if a single keep is going to be enough to stop this. We've got man-arms now running into the base, and they will start wreaking havoc. This could be GG for Fitzy here. A well-fought game, but can he keep going? Okay, we've got that relic has been ungarrisoned there mid. We've got man-arms running around. Ooh, I don't think he can produce units fast enough. I think that's going to be the problem. Can he reproduce units fast enough? He has a lot of barracks. It looks like he's making a change into Landsknecht. He could go for a Wololo maybe. That could be a play, but his relics are out here. He can't even go for a big Wololo play. I don't even know where to look. We've got raids going around everywhere. I think the biggest problem is the villager gap. I almost feel like he at this point has to somehow get to the Imperial Age to print some villagers to get back in this economic game. But looking at this military graph right now, look at this. Still been rather close. Fitzy here losing less, but I'm just more worried about the eco. But I don't know. That infinite gold, that can really be a factor over time. Let's look at that income per minute. Look at Fitzy here bringing in that gold. And now he's switching to this infantry-based army. Infantry and siege. Could this be a turning point for Fitzy here? He just keeps fighting, but look at this. An aggressive keep on the gold mine, but oh, he spotted the Rechnitz. If he takes that out, that would be a major blow to Fitzy here. Okay, we've got the infantry running in. They're going to take out these longbows. Now, these Landsknecht, they don't have armor, so they need to be careful when going to toe-to-toe with longbows like this. The man-arms will do well against them. Okay, but I don't think it's over. I got a little excited there. When the man-arms start flooding in, I get nervous. Sometimes that's when people just tap out. But he's got more fight left in him. Honestly, Capoche, he should just bring these man-arms, target this down, start sieging. Bring in a ram, do something, build a ram. Okay, still chasing down a few longbows on the back line, just being annoying. Villager count, 56 for Fitzy here, 119 for Capoche. We've got the Regents under siege. Man, no landmark is too sacred here in war. But we do have a keep that's been placed on the front line. Maybe I missed this while all that action was going on. He's got a keep. He's putting that relic inside there, I think, to increase the attack of it. He needs to... Actually, he might not realize this is going on. If you look at the man-arm, there are obviously pings going on. If you look at the mini-map, rather, there are pings going on everywhere. But Capoche's army is rather spread out right now. He does have this keep. Going for the gold. Going for his enemy's gold before going for his own gold. But look, Fitzy here did just garrison that relic on in to that keep. Oh, but here comes the rams, and we have an enemy keep trying to go up, but it looks like some villagers were lost in the process. I don't like, where do we look right now? There's so much going on. He left the Regis alone, it does appear. And I think Fitzy here can finally start to join his army together, and I think he really needs to hold this line. but losing more villagers is less than ideal when you're already down in the villager game. Trying to target down this ram so he can keep his keep alive. Keep alive. I know I said keep a lot of times there. But I think, unfortunately, that he's going to be going down. He's trying to get that boiling oil, but that's not going to come in time, unfortunately. Losing lots of villagers there in that engagement. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Where's he getting wood? He still has wood back at home. Yeah, that's a lot of villagers to go down. So this was a loss for Fitzy here. Lost a lot of villagers. Loses that relic. Spent a lot of stone there. Obviously, his opponent gets to keep up on the back line. Oh, my gosh. More man-arms and longbows harassing. I feel like Capoche is just going to slowly bleed Fitzy here dry, as we know is coming. There we go. Fitzy here taps out, and Capoche victorious in this first game of this best of 3. But I'll tell you, that was a super close one. Lots of back and forth. There was moments when I wasn't sure who was going to take the game. And wow, Fitzy here losing with his main civilization with the Holy Roman Empire. And that means we'll have to see what civs are pulled out here next. We know we won't see any Mongols or Boulder Bay. But wow, let's take a second and look at this graph. Villagers, this is where that big difference happened, right? Capoche hit age 3. He had that town center, essentially, and was able to just out-eco him over time. Maybe Fitzy here could have considered throwing down a town center of his own or going for some more raiding. Let's look at the eco, though. I mean, look at that gold. He was out-gathering gold, of course, because of the richness. I mean, all things considered, his resources were rather close, right? He was ahead in gold. Stone, I mean, who cares? Your enemy gets a ton more stone, but I guess it does make a difference. Not far behind in wood. I guess he was 8k behind in food, so that's a pretty big difference. Military graph, though, like the entire game, just it was so close. Fitzy here, in fact, losing, and at the end of the day, lost less military units despite losing the game. So, holy cow. If you're watching this over on YouTube, leave me a comment. Let me know if you watched the whole thing and what you thought about this matchup. And of course, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.